so much for your support in purchasing our summer bloom box. We are so excited for you to go through your items and also to go through, of course, your flowers, our favorite part of the box. We're going to start this quick little tutorial for you just to introduce the types of flowers that we've picked for you. We've locally sourced them from Hollyhock Flower Lane. She's a local grower in Newcastle, so we are so excited to be able to use her blooms. We're going to go through how to prep them first, and then we will show you kind of how we like to design them in this beautiful vase that we've chosen for you as well.
So first we'll go through each type of flower that's in your box. You'll also have a Meet Your Blooms card in your box that will also have just a cute little description of each flower. So this here is called Feverfew. So that's going to be the filler that's going to go in your vase. We've actually already cut some here, as you can see. So you'll have 2 stems of that. And then this here is called Yarrow. It's also a filler flower. It's very, very pretty. Will take up a lot of the volume of your vase. And then we have here a peony. These are the last of the season. Peony season does not last very long, so we were lucky that we got some for this box. We were super excited about that.
And then we've got our Gerbera Daisy here. We've got our Cosmo. Some of yours may be not as open as this one. There will be lots of little buds that will open eventually, so don't worry. And then also your rose.
So now we're going to go through the prep. You'll see that on your Feverfew there are a lot of these green leaves. We like to take that off just because it gives it more of a clean look to the stem. So I'm going to go ahead and take these off. And while I'm doing that, Lindsay's going to explain how we prep some of the other stems.
So we'll start with the rose. Just you're going to want to remove these leaves. So very carefully, you can just go and pull the leaves off and discard them. And also you'll notice, especially with white roses, sometimes you'll see some browning on the outer petals. Not to worry, you can just simply remove those. These are either guard petals or sometimes they just get a bit brown in transport. So you're just going to remove anything that looks a little bit brown. And then if you want, with the rose, you can do this before or after you design it in your arrangement, you can reflux the petals. That means you just simply turn the outer petals inside out gently, and it will just give your rose a bit of a bigger shape. And always, you'll want to trim the ends of your stems on an angle and then get them in the water right away for hydration. These guys, they're quite simple. You won't really have to do anything. Some of them will have leaves under the head of the bloom. Otherwise, they're basically ready to go, of course, with a trim to the bottom and water. And then your cosmos, you're going to want to carefully remove all of these green pieces. Again, just makes it look cleaner, and you're just going to carefully snap those off and you can discard them.
And then your peony, very similar to the rose, you're just going to want to remove the leaves that are down the stem. Just very gently pull those off. There are also some guard petals underneath the bloom here. You can choose to remove them or you can keep them on. It's totally up to you. I'm going to go ahead and just pull them off. Just be very careful while you're doing that because it's right at the head of the bloom. You don't want to accidentally rip that off. And then for the yarrow, there's just a couple of little green leaves here, so you're just going to go ahead and remove those.
So now we're ready to start our design. So as Christine mentioned earlier, we're going to use our Feverfew and our yarrow as our base. So we've gone ahead and just trimmed the stems of our Feverfew short enough so that it will just rest and fill the vase nicely. And just insert it there, make it full. And then we're going to go in with our yarrow.
So your yarrow might be this color. We also have a pink and a purpley variation. So we're using the yellow one in this arrangement. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the stem here. make sure that the length of it is what I want for my vase. And I'm going to just stick it in there. And then same with the other one. For our arrangement, we're gonna keep the feverfew on one side and yarrow on the other. Feel free to be creative.
So next we're going to go in with our cosmos. We like to call these the dancer stems. They're very delicate. They move with the wind if they were outside. So we're going to keep these a bit longer so that they still have that soft dancey feeling. And we're going to keep them towards the sides. So we're going to angle them in a little bit. You'll notice these stems, we've got some buds, we've got some fully bloomed cosmos as well. I'm gonna do this one really close to my first stem, but a bit lower. And then I'm gonna utilize the rest of my cosmos on the other side to give it that symmetrical vibe, as this is gonna be placed probably in the middle of a table. Then we can go in with our gerbera daisy. So again, I'm just going to cut it. I want this to stand up a little bit away from our filler. And I'm going to place it just a little bit off center, get a little bit shorter. And then I'll do our rose, and then we'll do our peony last because that's our biggest bloom. So I'm just gonna, again, reflex the petals by gently folding them outward. And I'm gonna cut this one also a little bit long. I think I'm gonna make mine face forward, but off to the side this way a little bit, opposite of my daisy.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and put this peony, I think, in the front here. It's kind of the showstopper of the arrangement. So again, I'm just gonna measure just to make sure. And I'm gonna go ahead and add that in. That looks really pretty.
Me too, I love it.
You can adjust some of the stems if you want to.
Just make sure if you pull them out that the bottoms are still in the water. That's key. Can't wait to see yours. Make sure you tag us on Instagram.